Welcome, loyal Days of Our Lives fans, to another electrifying edition of TV Days Drama Digest. Buckle up, because the week of July 14th, 2025, promises to deliver a whirlwind of suspense, betrayal, and heart-wrenching confrontations that will leave you glued to your screens. The picturesque town of Salem is about to descend into chaos, with secrets unraveling, alliances tested, and lives hanging in the balance. If you thought you'd seen it all, think again. This week's episodes are poised to take the drama to unprecedented heights. Let's dive into the shocking twists and turns awaiting us in the world of Days of Our Lives. A terrifying ordeal. The kidnapping of Ari and Holly, the idyllic streets of Salem, are shattered by a chilling crime that sends shockwaves through the community. Two innocent young girls, Ariana Horton and Holly Jonas, find themselves at the center of a nightmare when they are brutally kidnapped by a masked assailant. The shadowy figure, cloaked in darkness and wielding a gun, drags the girls into a world of fear and uncertainty. Their only crime? Their connection to Doug Williams III, a man whose tangled web of debts and dangerous associations has now ensnared the ones he holds dear. The episode opens with a heart-stopping scene. Ari and Holly, wide-eyed and trembling, are bound in a dimly lit warehouse, the air thick with the stench of oil and desperation. The kidnapper, his face obscured by a black ski mask, paces menacingly, his voice a low growl as he issues his demands over a burner phone. "Tell Doug he's got 48 hours to pay up," he snarls, "or these girls won't see another sunrise." The camera lingers on Ari's tear-streaked face as she clutches Holly's hand, whispering words of comfort despite her own terror. Holly, ever the brave soul, musters the courage to confront their captor. "What happens if Doug can't pay?" she asks, her voice quivering but defiant. The kidnapper's eyes glint with malice as he leans in close, his breath hot against her face. "Things are about to get very complicated, little girl," he replies, his words dripping with a chilling promise of violence. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a gnawing question. Could Doug himself be orchestrating this sinister plot? Has his desperation driven him to betray his own family, or is he merely a pawn in a larger, more sinister game? As the town rallies to find the missing girls, the stakes couldn't be higher. Marlena Evans, racked with guilt over her granddaughter Ari's plight, turns to John Black for help, their once unshakable bond strained by the weight of this crisis. Meanwhile, Sierra Brady and Ben Weston, no strangers to Salem's dark underbelly, launch their own investigation, uncovering clues that point to a shadowy figure from Doug's past. Every tick of the clock brings the girls closer to an uncertain fate, and the tension is palpable as Salem's residents grapple with the horrifying reality that time is running out. Belle and EJ's desperate alliance elsewhere in Salem, the courtroom drama surrounding Johnny DiMera's trial reaches a fever pitch. Johnny, accused of a shooting that has left the town reeling, faces a future behind bars unless his father, EJ DiMera, and attorney Belle Black can pull off a miracle. The two form an unlikely alliance, their shared goal of saving Johnny forcing them to set aside years of mistrust and animosity. EJ, ever the strategist, is convinced that the key to clearing Johnny's name lies in reconstructing the chaotic events of the night he was shot. "We need to know exactly what happened," he insists, his steely gaze fixed on a stack of case files strewn across his desk. But the memories are fragmented, clouded by trauma and conflicting accounts. EJ's determination is unwavering, but the weight of his son's fate bears heavily on him, his usually impeccable composure fraying at the edges. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he confides in Belle, "If I lose Johnny, I lose everything." Belle, however, has a different approach, one that could turn the entire case on its head. Known for her sharp legal mind and penchant for thinking outside the box, Belle hints at a risky plan that could either save Johnny or destroy them all. "There's another way," she says cryptically, her eyes gleaming with a mix of determination and fear. What is Belle up to? Is she prepared to cross ethical lines to protect her client, or does she have an ace up her sleeve that no one saw coming? As the trial looms, the tension between Belle and EJ crackles with intensity, their partnership a volatile mix of brilliance and desperation that could either save Johnny or lead to their downfall. A fiery confrontation at the DiMera Mansion. The DiMera Mansion, a place synonymous with power struggles and betrayal, becomes the stage for an explosive showdown between Gwen Rizek and Kristen DiMera. The two women, both fierce and unyielding, lock horns in a battle of wills that promises to leave scars. Kristen, fresh off her latest scheme, is stunned to learn that Dimitri von Leuschner, her former ally, has not divorced Gwen as she had assumed. Instead, Gwen delivers a bombshell that shakes Kristen to her core. "I'm still Mrs. von Leuschner, Kristen, and I'm not going anywhere." The confrontation unfolds in the opulent DiMera living room, where crystal chandeliers cast a cold light on the two women's simmering rage. Kristen, her lips curled into a sneer, accuses Gwen of clinging to a marriage that's nothing more than a sham. "Dimitri will never love you," she hisses, her words sharp as daggers. But Gwen, no longer the timid outsider she once was, fires back with a confidence that catches Kristen off guard. "You underestimated me, Kristen," she says, her voice steady despite the storm brewing in her eyes. "I've fought too hard to let you or anyone else take what's mine." As the argument escalates, long-buried secrets come to light, threatening to upend the fragile alliances within the DiMera family. Kristen's desperation to maintain control clashes with Gwen's newfound resolve, and the fallout promises to ripple through Salem, affecting everyone from Chad DiMera to Abigail's lingering legacy. Will Gwen's claim to the von Leuschner name solidify her power, or is Kristen plotting a move that will bring Gwen's world crashing down? Xander and Sarah's explosive custody battle in another corner of Salem, the battle over custody of Xander Cook and Sarah Horton's daughter, reaches a boiling point. What began as a contentious co-parenting arrangement has erupted into a full-blown war, with both sides refusing to back down. Sarah, a devoted mother and skilled doctor, is determined to protect her daughter from what she sees as Xander's reckless influence. "You don't get to control our lives, Xander," she declares, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and fear. "I won't let you." Xander, however, is not one to be underestimated. The former mercenary, whose heart has softened but whose temper remains a force to be reckoned with, fires back with a warning that sends chills down Sarah's spine. "Push me too far, Sarah, and you'll regret it," he says, his eyes blazing with a dangerous intensity. "This could be the biggest mistake you've ever made." Sarah, caught off guard by the venom in his words, can't help but wonder, is that a threat? The question hangs in the air unanswered as the camera pans to Xander's clenched fists, hinting at the storm that's about to break. The custody battle is more than just a legal dispute. It's a clash of two strong-willed individuals, each fighting for what they believe is right. Sarah, backed by her mother Maggie Horton and the support of Salem's tight-knit community, is prepared to do whatever it takes to keep her daughter safe. But Xander, with his cunning and unyielding determination, has resources of his own, including a surprising ally who could tip the scales in his favor. As the court date approaches, the tension between Sarah and Xander threatens to tear their family apart, leaving viewers wondering whether love, betrayal, or sheer stubbornness will ultimately prevail. The heart of Salem, a town on edge as these dramatic storylines unfold, the town of Salem itself becomes a character in its own right, a place where beauty and danger coexist, where every corner holds a secret, and where the past is never truly buried. From the bustling Horton Town Square to the shadowy alleys where deals are made and lives are changed, Salem is a town on edge, its residents caught in a web of lies, loyalty, and loss. The kidnapping of Ari and Holly casts a dark cloud over the community, forcing families to confront their deepest fears. The DiMera Mansion, once a symbol of power, is now a battleground for ambition and revenge. The courtroom, where Johnny's fate hangs in the balance, is a crucible of truth and deception. And in the quiet moments between the chaos, Sarah and Xander's personal war reminds us that even the strongest bonds can fray under pressure. What's next? The week of July 14th, 2025, promises to be a roller coaster of emotions for Days of Our Lives fans. Will Ari and Holly escape their captors' clutches, or is a darker fate in store? Can Belle and EJ save Johnny from a life behind bars, or will their risky gambit backfire? Will Gwen hold her ground against Kristen's machinations, or is she walking into a trap? And will Sarah and Xander find a way to coexist for their daughter's sake, or will their battle destroy everything they've fought for? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.